Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and we are still ill, but we are a lot better than we were, so we will take it. How are you all doing? Hope you're all well. It's been a couple of weeks. I just started up an Out to the Park baseball series, which I appreciate if you go check it out. Give a little like on that video as well, because it's a very interesting game that I enjoy to play. And if you like it, Football Manager, if you like FHM, the hockey manager, there's a chance I'll start playing that back on the channel again, as well as Starters Orders. I think those have become like the four staples of this channel over the years. So, yeah. So, very interesting. Even if you know nothing about baseball, you're almost in the same boat as me. I know very little. I've learned very, very little in my 9 years in America. And I've never really wanted to because I don't love the sport very much. But I do have a connection with the team, and I do enjoy playing the game. And I'm learning it, so I'll be teaching it as I'm learning it and kind of explaining thought processes like I do. So hopefully, all that will entice you to maybe enjoy that series as well. So, all that to be said, that is up. Still planning on the how to tips, tricks, cheats, and tutorials series of starters orders, which I'm hoping will be up the first episode. That'll be up in a few days, but I wanted to make sure that we're kind of continuing this save first. Like I want to get the out the park off the ground because while I've been ill, I've been watching people play a few things. I've been watching them play WWE 2K25. I don't own the game. I don't have the money for it, but it looks fun, especially the GM mode. Which, hey, if you know me, that's kind of what I do. I'm a general manager. I'm a manager. I'm a sporting director, whatever you want to term it. I'm the guy who makes big decisions and then is kind of hands off on game day, so to speak. So that's what I do with Stars Orders. That's what I do in Out to the Park Baseball. That's what I do in Franchise Hockey Manager. That's what I do in Football Manager. That's what I do in Madden. Um, that's what I do in EAFC. Although I haven't really played EFC in a couple of years, and I don't own the latest Madden. Again, money's tight. People want to buy me these games. I'm more than happy to play them, and I'm more than happy to make a series on YouTube for them. So, hey, if that's kind of something you're interested in that much, then get in touch. We'll make things work. But for right now, like I say, I'm sticking with certain games that that I really like, and Out of the Park's been one that I watched as well alongside WWE. Um, Very much interested seeing how other people manage these situations and do things, and kind of learn from them, repackage it in my own way to kind of make sense to me. And then when I'm learning it, I can teach it to other people, and we can all get better at these kind of games. That's my idea of kind of how I want to do things and how I normally do things. Now, you might disagree. That's up to you. That's fine. But that's kind of how I see it. And so I kind of wanted to get that series off the ground, and I do want to get that tutorial series. I think that's going to be helpful because Starters Orders is not an intuitive game, I will say. There are definitely things you need to know to get good at the game. It's a very steep learning curve, and if you play the game as it's designed to be played, I'm just going to flat out say it, in my opinion, it kind of sucks for a couple of years until like you get out of that grind of having really bad horses and not knowing how to make enough money to buy better horses or know what you're doing in the breeding areas so that you can slowly grind up for like 5 to 10 years until you get your first decent horse. Whereas if you know what you're doing and you can like set up the game a different way, like I have for this one, you get your good horse in like season 2 or 3, you instantly kick-started the series. Um, so there is that. I did see a comment as well. We'll go back. I've been kind of off comments as well for a while. I will go back on all the videos over the last few weeks where comments have been left and respond to them there. But there was one about how I have started this save with graded horses I haven't. The first footage you saw in episode 1 of this series, you were watching season 6. Now, year 1 is automatically simulated by the game. So, that out of the way, I still went and played off camera 5 years of this save, building up my horses to the point where I had 2-year-olds that could win graded races and 3-year-olds that could win grade 1 races. That took me 5 years of grinding to get to. So I understand that I didn't show that. That's why the tutorial season is going to be more of a thing. So we can kind of go through what I did, why I did it, my thinking, what I think the game thinks, what you can get away with, what maybe you want to try different, etc., etc. Like we can go over all that kind of stuff in that series. But I wanted to, just in case you weren't realizing, this was not season 1. You can see we're in 2026 right now. This is season 8, I think, maybe. Um, so yeah, it's a very interesting game if it's not modded, and if you're playing on harder difficulties, if you don't have simple training on, and if you don't abuse money, cheat, and betting and that kind of stuff at the start of the game. If you're just going like with whatever horse you get and running them in races trying to make money, you're probably going to fail unless you've got lucky in the horse that you started the game with. So I tend to take all that out of the mix when I'm playing, and like I say, the tutorial will go in detail into that a little bit more, figuring out kind of how you can do the same. But I didn't want to do that for this. I just wanted to show you the fun stuff, um, and what a good game looks like when it gets going. And that's kind of where we're at. We had a successful season, and now we're here with a bunch of interesting 2-year-olds. One really good one, I remember. Poppets was my number one. Yeah, okay. I can see why. I remember why. A little bit of cruising burst, a lot of distance adaptability, good potential. Um, Poppets is, yeah, Poppets is good. Tourist is an average 2-year-old. Leinster's a decent 2-year-old. Moala Songs is a decent-ish 2-year-old. And Substance Small is kind of an average to good 2-year-old. But Poppets is the one. And yeah, then we got our 3-year-olds who were 2 last season, of course. So these are the ones that we kind of just tried to push as much as possible. And some of them didn't work out as well. You can see, we had some good runs with Zaynat Morton, but not really like a dominant one. Could have had a grade 1. Could have had a grade 2. We were like really close. Could have had another grade 3. Not quite there. You can see now, though, that stamina bar is so high. What is that, 65%? So that's like definitely a mile 2, maybe even longer with distance adaptability. Oh my god. Yes, perfect distance for Triple Crown, isn't it? It's perfect distance for Triple Crown. Good start, good speed, not bad acceleration. Uh got 55 cruising burst. Got touch less extra speed than we want to see. If we fill out this potential, I mean, yeah, it's got a shot. It does have a shot. If you look at Terry, who I really liked, and if they had the distance, they would have been in Triple Crown, but like they were very successful. Again, they had that extra speed, but they didn't have the cruising burst. Everything else, including kind of like where the potentials are at 2 and 3, um, I think were very, very similar, if I'm correct. And I think I am. I think I am. Um, yeah, I think I am. So anyway, long story short, Morton could be okay. 5e Modern. Looks like a little miler. Gonna have to gain a ton of distance, but could be a really nice miler. It's already won a grade 1 as well. Like ran 3 times, fourth, a third, and a first. Um, that's not bad. Then pistol, just short order horse right now. So the breeding indicator, no adaptability, probably just going to be short. At least we've got variants. We can run people at different times. Asats felt that I liked a lot. Again, didn't get their runs in early. We just couldn't get the maidens. But then when we did, we were good. Didn't get that grade. But then we quite quickly got ourselves up and into the mix. Again, it's like a mile 1 to a mile 2. Zero confidence. We've got to be careful booking races. We can only really keep winning, because the moment we lose, that might just be a little tailspin to where we don't win anymore. But everything looks pretty good apart from distance. Really high ability with potential to burn as well. Yeah. I don't know if either of those are going the breeding bound, really. Maybe Svelta, but yeah, very interesting. And yeah, an average miler for Fistful Vindication. Looks okay, doesn't look amazing, didn't love it as a 2-year-old, and similar with Turgeman. I always felt there was more, but never quite enough, and that looks like it's another mile too. So we're just completely getting the right range for Triple Crown, which is a mile 2, a mile 1, and then a mile 4. Those are the 3 races: the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont. So it's going to be difficult to book races for some of these, to be fair. All these are 5 or 6 furlongs. Nice. So no horses ready yet, so I'm just going to go forward. I usually go 3 days, and then we can see. And the most important ones for me are always going to be the 2-year-olds early on in the season. So let's look. Good start, good acceleration, good pace. 7 furlongs. Extra speed, just a bit of a meh. I think I want to try 5. I'm close to over racing the horse. Okay, it's never run a day in its life, and I'm close to overrunning. Good talk. Good talk. Okay. Low speed, low acceleration. I definitely think 6 might suit it better in that case. Headlad says, raring to go. Love that. Let's just dump that in a race. That's those 2 done. Horses raring go. So like a mile 2 for Morton. A mile, 6 furlongs. A mile 2. A mile. A mile 2. Oh, okay. I think we just look then at group races. I hate short order horses early on in the season because it means going to Dubai or to Saudi or to South Africa, and we don't really win much over there. So what's Pistol? Pistol doesn't have a ton of confidence. There's a chance I put him in this race, but like, I don't think he does anything. I think game day decision. And if you're new around here, game day decision means I'll book it for now. When we get to that date or the day before, there's a chance I just pull him out the race, um, rather than running, because I just don't believe that he can do anything in it. So for now, I'll sit him in the race. We'll kind of see what we do. We low weight, because we're like carrying less weight than anyone else. We've won a grade 3. That's the most anyone else has won. but we're by far the lowest rating. We're a foreign horse in a tough place to run early in the season. Like, there's so much, younger horse racing is older horses, which is why we have the weight allowance, but also they are going to be bigger, stronger horses than us because they're a little bit older. Like, there's so much that goes into these decisions. I'll book, and then when I get to the date, I'll kind of have a better feeling of it and just make a judgment on game day decisions, basically. So I'll just kick that decision on down the road. A mile South Africa, I hate it, but I might pull the trigger on this one. Put the rookie jockey on it instead. Okay. Let's talk through this one as well. We're a grade 1 winner. There's a grade 1 winner. Not much else in the field, a lot of unknowns. And we are by far the low weight. Plus, we can take even less weight because of the jockey. 8 stone 7. We're supposed to be 9 stone. That's £7 allowance. You can see after it's named the 7. It's a £7 allowance. That actually brings us down to 8-7, which is just the jockey weight. That is actually as low as we could theoretically go anyway. So there's a lot of reasons to like this. We're also a fairly high run, high rating. So we could really do well. Again, game day decision on that, and then let's see. We won a grade 2 with Fistful. I was gonna say there's probably not much else. So it's 5e. Yeah, 5e is definitely a miler. Fistful's probably a miler. There's a chance of 7. Again, we're only at a grade 3. So I think we'll test at a grade 3. I don't love that. That's one we should win. If we can't win that, like even a top weight, if we can't win that by some distance, then we shouldn't be running. What's that like? Yeah, we're still top weight. So, okay, that's fine. And then we'll go to a mile 2 to a mile 1. I think, yeah. Yeah, Zaynab Morton's one that probably doesn't come down to a mile 1 easily, but does have the distance adaptability. So, okay, who do we want to sacrifice? Svelta and Turgeman can't run. In this case for fillies. So this really is going to be Zaynab Morton, who we've looked at, we like, we know what's going on there. Again, 8-7, book the jockey in, and just see. Yeah. Definitely got a good horse in there. There's very good horse. Gonna go for the Pegasus World Cup Turf as well. It's a very good horse. I mean, depends if it does anything in it, but it's good enough to get in that field. So we don't love that. Plus all the domestics, unraced domestics as well. We just don't know anything about them. But that might be an okay run. Then I got a grade 3 early, and I got a grade 3 late. So I'm probably not going to run Svelta because we won a grade 1. And out of these two, I'm probably not going to want to go abroad. It's a very, very tough field, but we got a good weight advantage. And again, I think that maybe kind of fits. Let's get our races set up. Let's go to the 5th. look at the sales, try and figure out where we're at. I did buy a couple of 2-year-olds that just didn't work out at the end of last season and in the off season. That's fine. 2-year-olds on the 22nd, and then the 10th of February for breeders sales. 1st of March is, of course, the first yearling sale. So 22nd, and then the 10th of February. Kind of ignore sales up until then. You can kind of check, when horses have already been put in. You can kind of have a quick look, and does anything really stand out to you in those? Like, is there a grade 1? But quite often, there won't be. So quick little save. Game day decision, like I say, for the Main Chance Farms paddock and a mile 1, and the Omrins Queen's Plate, which I like. I like this race a lot. I really, really like this race a lot. I just don't know. If we can win. And we got more 2-year-olds, so 5. That's breeding indicators 5, much higher acceleration. They tend to run better at 5. I'm gonna just pick a nice day, small field, love that. Gonna test Leinster out at 6. We're gonna go here and set that up. Both running on the same day. Don't love it, but it's what it is. Okay. That means Pop Bits is the only one that we haven't looked for a race for yet. And Svelta, there just wasn't a race this early in the season. So game day decisions. Let's start with 5E Modern. Definitely likes a mile. Likes a slower track. This is probably not going to be a slow track. That's not bad. I don't think we can win. I think this is one where we might just be a little bit behind the curve. But I'm tempted with our jockey allowance. Cohen's still a very good jockey. I kind of want to be greedy and just like run it. And I'm possibly even, I'm possibly even less confident that Zainab Morton can win here. But again, that's also one that I really want to run. And I think that we do need to test these 3-year-olds. We need to test them at distance. We need to test them against quality opposition. We just need to quantify that these tests are not fair. Like, this is a totally different situation they'll be running in later. They're totally different horses than when the Derby will come up. It's a few months away. There's so much that changes in that time frame. But I do think we need to test early just to get an idea of where the horse is right now, and then kind of extrapolate that out to see, do we think that there's a chance of a Derby race? And that's kind of my only question with these 3-year-olds is, can they win a grade 1 at a mile 2 before the Derby? If the answer is yes, they go into the Derby. If the answer is no, they don't. And that's really it. That's kind of the only place I'm trying to get to. So stupid as this may be, I'm going to run. We got an outside chance of both these races. I do not feel confident in either of these horses at this stage of the season going to South Africa to run in the paddock and the Queen's Plate. But I am going to do it because I need to see. I need to understand who these horses are. 1 mile 1 furlong Main Chance Farms paddock, class 1, grade 1 for 3-year-olds and older on turf. The favourite will be August Walks, one of 3 Brett Crawford horses, so the 3 silks that are the same. In fact, color scheme and pattern, all silks are kind of the same. Ours is the most difficult. But saying that, Morton is our horse, and we are out of the gate late on the outside. And August walks, goes towards the front. There you go, leads out his stablemates. We are on the shoulder just outside them. We have Wave Flung in front and Hunter Forward at the front. We got Eternity Ring and America Rinjani at the back. So as we come now around this turn and onto the home stretch, we will see a little bit about these horses. 2.5 from home. 1.5. And now this, if anywhere, is where horses need to make their move. We're getting into a line. It looks like Wave Flung is going into a line. Everybody's now dashing for the line, and we are not going to be in it. Like, we had more to give, but we weren't in the right position. Wave Flung's going to take it. We come second. Like, twice the jockey had to come out sideways to find a lane to run in. They didn't have a good line at about 2.5. So they had to step out to come in. Then, like a furlong left to half a furlong left, and over that distance, we again had to step out because we didn't have a good run. If we're putting that energy in going forward, I think we have a shot. And I definitely think we had the beating of Wave Flung. Now, the extra weight, the jockey allowance, I'm not sure how to quantify it. We go up to a 112. I think it's really interesting. Yeah, we're definitely not out of that, and that's kind of like a really weird one because I know what a tough situation that was when we ran so well, and then the fact that we didn't have a good racing line probably cost us that race. We possibly could have won, but then we had so much of a weight allowance. How much did that play into it? And it's all this mixed bag of I just don't feel like I've definitively learned about this horse. But I know we were competitive, and that's tough to do sometimes in South Africa this early. 3-year-old, very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Do I think that's moved the needle at all in terms of how I rate the horse and their chances of Triple Crowns? Not yet. But it's extra information that we're going to put towards that decision later on. 5E, I mean, second favourite behind the other American horse. We're a little worked up, which is always a bad thing in my experience. We're not the top rated horse either. We do have a weight allowance plus that little jockey allowance of £7 for the apprentice. This is going to be similar in terms of I'm not sure how much that weight allowance is going to play into our run. It's the 1 mile Lomorans Queen's Plate Class 1 Grade 1 for 3-year-olds and above on turf back at Kenilworth, South Africa again. Favourite was Roller Girl. Looks like we've overtaken that, and everybody else pretty much was 66-1. So, okay, yellow silks, pink purplish sleeves is one I'm not seeing. Oh, it's right against the rail. So it's kind of like a dark yellow-orange. So we're alongside it, and we're going to both be behind Hardwick Mighty. So, yeah, we're running basically 2 and 3 right now. Roller Girl's right there. And then Zero Money, Trigoni Bridge, 20 Short Kid, and Saute Tather are all there as well. There goes Roller Girl. Here comes Horses from Deep. We are still very early. I thought we might be even later on in the race than that because everybody started making their move. I kind of panicked a bit, so I took us out of Fast Sim. And now with 2 furlongs, we are right in touch. We're making up a little room And it looks like Hardwick Mighty's going to come up the inside. It's going to drop off. From the back, it looks like Zero Money, and it's us and Roller Girl. Neither one of us has actually gone yet. We're just slowly gaining. Zero Money's the one that's coming through. We are up 3.2.1. Zero Money falls back. Roller Girl almost gets there. We do just pip it by a head. And that's very similar for me. That's a very similar run. We had a clean line in this race, so we didn't waste energy, so we didn't end up losing. But yeah, I'd say they're very, very similar. It's very interesting. Neither has everything I'm looking for right now. Neither one has kind of like established themselves as a derby contender, but they haven't written themselves out of the running either. That's a very nice win for 5e Mod. We won our last race as a 2-year-old to win our first Grade 1. We've won our second Grade 1 in a tough place to go in our first race as a 3-year-old. We hold our rating. We don't gain rating, which is interesting. We beat a 118. Actually, the two 118s. You've won 2 Grade 1s. You've not come closer than this. We were a little warm, weren't we? We were a little agitated before the race. We saw that pink triangle. That does factor. I like 5e Modern more, I think, at this stage than Zynet. But yeah, okay, solid start. Like again, I don't think I should have raced them in general because it's a very tricky place to go, and I didn't love either horse, but I did race them. We tested them. I think they passed the test. I don't know how indicative it is of anything else, but I'm very happy to have raced them both, and I think they're better for the runs. I will say that. Let's get Poppets up and running. Well, was probably a 6. I mean, got tons of distance. It doesn't matter. I'm going to run a 6. I feel a 6 is normally a better place to run. Just get them booked up. Breeding is flashing. Why is breeding flashing? All 4 of them are in full. Lovely. So we set that up. Yeah, I think the plan was just to breed with Crabbies Down, right? Because I mean, this is our Triple Crown winner. This is a good horse. Nothing spectacular. I like the 75 extra speed. I normally look for 70. We got high potential filled out. So the fact we got this, we don't quite have the cruising burst some of our other 3-year-olds have. Similar situations, could they replicate what Crabbies did? Sure, I think so. But I do think that maybe is the plan. So right now, we're still with Terry for some reason, even though they are already in full. It might need a day. Ooh, Grade 1 sire, but a terrible horse. But a distance horse. I'm a sucker for these kind of horses. And considering we don't really need to worry about money because we did the booking cheat earlier, I didn't even check it's excitable. Ugh. Absolutely terrible and excitable and everything else. Yeah. But like, I'm not going to worry about the money because we got money to burn. Okay, now when I go in the breedings ban, Crabbies is done. Crabbies ran at about a mile 2 to a mile 3, which is similar to Craig Rose. I think that just makes sense right now. We're just gonna go. They've all kind of got the same distance, I think. Bit tough to read. Like I don't like these bugs. Don't like the graphical bugs that sometimes happen like that. But yeah, I think Officer Lily might be the one that's not quite the right distance. But the other two, again, for sure are. So we'll just one by one we'll breed Crabbies with the other three, and that'll put 5 to our Triple Crown winner this year. And then if things don't go well, by the end of the season, we might be putting 5 in Zaynat in the breeding barn anyway, and breed with Crabbies this season. Otherwise, it might be next season. So lots to think about. Let's skip a maiden. Muala songs. We win a maiden. We win a maiden. Okay. 1 1/4 lengths. That's not a ton of distance. Usually like more. Got that pink triangle. It doesn't look like a faint one either. It looks like a pretty reddish one. So that's probably medium worked up. That is I think 3 levels. There's medium, and there's very worked up. So the horse was very unsettled before the race. We won it from start to finish. We won it by some distance. We've already pretty much filled our potential out for this season. We don't need to race anymore. Gonna mature really well. Like this could just turn into a horse for next season that like runs really well early on, but may not get Triple Crown level. Lacks the extra speed, doesn't have a ton of cruise and burst to make up for it. Doesn't have a ton of distance adaptability. Yeah, just doesn't look like an amazing horse, but is good enough. Galette Tourist comes in second. Quite a distance in second. Trip suited perfectly. Okay. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm going to call BS on that, but okay. You got 2 weeks to get ready because you're going back in at Oak Lawn. That's 6. We're going to try 6 cars. We didn't see what we liked at 5. Then we're going to skip the result to see this. This should be a win, right? 2 3/4, not too bad. Again, kind of led from the front. Not bad at all. Pushed out almost 3 lengths. I like that. I think that was good. Yeah, too early to kind of judge these horses too much. Don't think you were ridden in pack. You were second and then first and first. Like you were never in the pack. But yeah, okay. Good jockey feedback. Decent run. Decent winning margin. Don't mind the lap. Poseidon's Leinster. Another winner. 2.5. Again, very similar. Just ridden on the shoulder of the leader early. And then just pushed out basically and ran quite well. Kind of like these bars, the speed, the acceleration, and the start. Again, very, very similar to other horses. Like they don't seem to have a ton of cruise and burst, but they all have around 75 extra speed and around 75 potential, and they're not too far away from it. It's very interesting to see. And they were in the bag at halfway. That's pretty good. Pretty good day's racing. That I will be very happy with that. So we got a second place on the maiden, and we're going to run at 6 just to see if 5 didn't quite suit, and that was a standard track. We like a good track, which we'll kind of see. We run at 6. And we get ready to do Crabbies once more. And then this is the one we're pinning our hopes on. This is the 2-year-old we really, really liked. Like, I feel like I've cursed it now, but this is what we really like. Second by a length, and just meh. Loved Brown. Didn't like that. It's such an interesting horse because that distance adaptable. Nothing else like stands out, but it just changes the dynamics of the horse so much for me. And again, we've tried at 6, it didn't work. I'm actually going to try at 5. We should go towards the end there. I think 22nd, I believe. King of Dubai, excitable. Okay. Crabbies Down. Decline because I almost forgot, but we are still breeding to our own horses. Okay, please be something. No, not really. They're both a mile too. I think there's only 2 of them. Let's go see again. We don't need to worry about money. That's not the game we're playing. So it's got about 550. Now it's going to go to 6. So that means 650 to 7. And I fully expect this to go to 2.35. Let's just speed the bidding along till it gets in range. And then we can push it up to that price and back out. Okay, let's look at this one first. Small bars. Ugh. Don't love it. Don't love that either. Just bad horse. Yeah, casual like 700 grand down the toilet, and this one as well. Yeah, kind of get a feeling sometimes from the bars. So sweet, 3 million just gone on 2 young horses. Like, they're just purely gambling at the end of the day. That's all you're doing. So, Glitter Tourist, we were told, liked the run at 5, but didn't win. Things just didn't line up, so we're going to try at 6. At Oaklawn, it's not going to be the ground we want. But yeah. We win by 8.5 lengths. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. If you run maidens, you don't win, and you come close, and you're not running green, you're not running agitated. Even if your jockey, who's a very good feedback jockey, tells you that they love the ground, they love the distance, they don't win a 5, run them at 6. If they don't run at 6, run them at 5. I'm telling you, you will get a definitive answer. Is this just a horse that doesn't run well when they're young because they lose both of them? Or is it just a distance issue? I don't care in the difference in fields. They're all unraced 2-year-olds. But 8.5 lengths is generational. Goddamn generational. That now has severely pushed Galette Tourist up in my estimations. Absolutely amazing. Already up to a 91. Almost filled their potential. Like, low confidence, low enthusiasm, low consistency, almost no distance adaptability, not much cruising burst, but 80 to 85 extra speed. If they gain enough, we could have like an 80 odd ability 3-year-old going into the derby. It's so bare bones. It's got extra speed, it's got finish application, it's got adaptability of surface. That's it. And really, the only two important ones are finish application, I want 100, and extra speed, I want 70. And that's got like over 80. I want ability of 50 and potential of 70. It started above 50. We've already gained all the way up to 65, 66-ish, and it's got like 71 potential. So like it's bare bones fitting my needs. But by God, did it run that second maiden well. And that's what we want to see. So we've got 3 maidens out of 5, one initially. One was won well at a better distance, and then we got Poppets coming up, but the first domestic race, I believe, for the 3-year-olds is before that. But again, the 2-year-olds are off to a decent start. The better they are, the more time you kind of put in, the more you might see, a bit more success in the maidens, to where you're not worried about them. So you just book them early, let them run, they win comfortably, and then they kind of get 2 months off until either their distance adaptability changes or not the distance adaptability, but their stamina changes so they can run different distances, or the correct graded races for those short distances actually come into play. Yeah, just a normal grade 3. If we don't win this and win it comfortably, then that says it all, really. So it's a mile. We're on the outside. We're off quite nicely. And we are going to go and just stalk behind an Act Tumbler. We got Understudy River just behind us with Panoramic Tantrum, Sokoto Blazer, and then Dinside Shuffler, Pekka Metro Tire, and Crosby Carnival at the back. We're at the back stretch and coming round the bend. We're still on the shoulder. Here comes Sokotoa. Another final furlong and a half. We're coming now onto the home stretch as it levels out from that turn. We're going to just start pushing slowly away from Sokotoa. Panoramic Tantrum is still there, but Anak Tumbler is falling away. Now there goes Panoramic Tumbler, or Tantrum, I should say, tumbling away. And that's just a nice, easy victory. And it's not a good field. It's not a prodigious race. This is nothing but a test of bare minimum. Is this horse anything? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. 4.5 length win in a grade 3. And yes, it's okay. It's okay. So we need to keep upping the tests. But we'll kind of see where this one lines up. Again, I don't hate it. It's got the 70 extra speed and the full finish. It's got 50% cruising burst, which could help. If we max out its ability, here it'll be a little over 80 going into the Triple Crown races, which should be enough quality, enough speed, and extra speed to give it a shot. And that's all we're looking for right now, is a shot. So quickly check that. Let's go and make sure that Gwingo can win. They can. Please bear at least 3 legs. 4.5. Exactly what I'm expecting. Exactly what happens. I'm happy. I kind of know that I wasn't mistaken. This is a good horse. We got 2 that took 2 races, but they won comfortably the second time around. And we got 3 that won initially. So I'm not worried about our 2-year-olds at all. That was nice. Trip was ideal. The ground didn't suit. Still won by 4.5 lengths. And I knew the ground was going to be difficult. We got ourselves a 91 and a 92. They've pretty much filled out their potential for the season. Yeah, again, very, very similar. It's got distance adaptability, a touch less cruising burst we just looked at, but I think the 3-year-olds this season are so similar to the 2-year-olds we have. What these guys do in grade 1s and in the Triple Crown races, if we get there, is going to be a nice indicator for next season. I think that's kind of how I'm going to look at things. Okay, we're going to go to May then. Game day decision. I'm just going to run it because I need to test. But again, I don't feel comfortable. I did say that, and we came second, and possibly could have won with a better run, and then we won the other one. But this is definitely more difficult, in my estimation, than those two were. So we're definitely not going to be favourites. We're going to be way down the order. This is going to be tough. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Like, just what it is. 6 furlong, Jebel Ali Al Jindaga Sprint. Class 1 Grade 3, 3-year-olds and above on dirt. Don't know the field. Don't care. We got an inside draw, number 3. And we're off decently well. We're going to go towards the front. We got Medellin Tanya and Nononito Victory up there with us. Haymark and Anastasia, Okafranca and Goldeva at the back. We're kind of getting gobbled up already. And I'm not even going to unpause the simulation. Not even going to finish watching the race because that's what I expect with that kind of horse in this kind of race this early. Short order against older horses as a 3-year-old in Dubai or in Saudi Arabia is almost impossible. You got half a shot sometimes at Ascot. You got half a shot sometimes at Longchamp. You got an okay shot sometimes at Kenilworth. So, the UK, France, South Africa. But when you get to Dubai and when you get to Saudi Arabia, you gotta be a really good horse to stand a chance. And that one just ain't it. Yeah. That one just ain't it. And I kind of knew that. This, I don't think, is going to fill its potential. I don't think it's going to get where we wanted to go this year. If it's winning grade ones by the end of his 3-year-old season, I might bring it back for his 4-year-old season, where it'll probably be good. But you look at the maturity rate, you'd expect it to actually be a good racer early on and not have to wait for his 4-year-old season. It might just not be quite that good. You get me? Like, that may be where we're at with this horse. So be it. Turgeman up next. Again, a little tough race, but like one that we should probably be able to at least compete in. Like, if we're not in the top 3 or 4, I wouldn't be super surprised, but I'd be disappointed. And yeah, I think there's a lot to this horse. That huge extra speed could be really nice. But there's so many question marks over this one as well. And like I said, I'm not expecting to win this. But again, it's just a test. It's not even a grade 1. So you just testing distance. We'll test quality later. We're going to go to the back. The only grey in the field. Couple of black horses in front of us. Puppets. Oh, Pop is quiet. Nice. And Remelin Renoir. Machinate Emerald and Benzen. Terrible at the back. And then we got Vicosa Thimble coming up on the outside. Now it's Infinite Gown in second place. And Tory Audience up top. We are out of the picture. Coming into now, we're trying to find a lane. You can see the way we've kind of gone to the outside. But we are kind of, again, falling off the pace. Down to the final furlong. Like, it's going to take a monster horse to make this back up. But we can get second place if we're good enough. Don't believe we are. And that's going to be a 4th place, right? Yeah. That's kind of my worst case scenario of my acceptable. I can understand this. I said if it doesn't finish 3 or 4, then we got real issues. Still kind of got issues. Just weren't competitive, didn't have the pace, didn't have anything. Mitigating circumstance would be it once a mile 2. And again, that's the real test, the mile 2 at grade 1. But those are your opening races. 3 2-year-olds win, nice and easy to begin with. Poppets and Tourist both get it done the second time of asking 4.5 and 8.5 lengths respectively. Very, very impressive. Zaynat Morton does better than expected, a second place in a grade 1. It's a shame we couldn't win that, but that gives me some confidence. And then winning the Omeran's Queen's Plate again with 5 in Modern gives me more confidence. If they gain distances, or if they get 5 against distance, I'll be happy. Zaynat already has distance. Those two, I would say, possibly Triple Crown runners right now. Terrible Pistol probably never gets distance, probably never develops enough. Very questionable on that horse. Turgeman, I'm just not seeing enough right now. Still got a few months, but probably not going to bother with in the Triple Crown. Especially if we got horses I like for the Triple Crown. If there's others that are even borderline, they're just not going to make it. Fistful of Vindication only won a grade 3, but does look like a solid colt. Has a shot, not ruling them out now. I'm kind of ruling Pistol and Apprentice out right now. Vindication, doors not closed, needs distance, but doors not closed. Zaynat, I like for the Triple Crown, has a distance, and 5 I like for the Triple Crown right now, but needs to gain some more distance. So that's my 1, 2, 3. And of course, Nat Svelta has distance, has good bars, looks pretty good all over. Kind of interesting, has a shot, needs to find a race to run. So, not a bad start. Like I say, should never have run Pistol in Dubai. I understand that. Turgeman kind of underperformed a little. But that's it. Everyone else ran well, did their jobs, and Svelta's yet to run. But I do expect them to win because that's probably one of my best 3-year-olds right now. Top 1 or 2 kind of bracket. So, yes, between them and 5 really. So, very interesting place. That's where we're going to leave it. I hope you have enjoyed. Like I say, we are back to running this save. The tutorial save will be coming up soon. So hopefully we'll get that underway soon. Next few days or so. So I just saw a grade 1 mare. Or I should say dam, not mare. Grade 1 dam. I guess I wasn't at the reserve. I think I am now, so let's just... It's a grade 3 mare. Did I get the wrong horse? Maybe... You know, maybe I did. Maybe I did. Barely, but does actually meet my minimums of 70 potential, 70 extra speed, 100% finished. Like, that's it. That's all I look for. And it's got them bang on. I'm just, why not? We'll put her in the breeding barn, we'll breed her with Crabbies, and we'll see just if anything worthwhile comes of it. I doubt it. I really doubt it, but hey, that's what it is. So yeah, let me know kind of what you think of our 2-year-olds and our 3-year-olds. And also start listing some topics you want me to go over in the tutorial save. And please do go check out the Out of the Park baseball save I've got going on with the Colorado Rockies. Like the videos, leave comments. It helps the algorithm. It really helps me out a lot. So yeah, I think that's going to be about it, guys. So till next time, take care, stay safe. Thank you for stopping by. And I'll see you next time for more interesting racing as we gear up for another shot at the Triple Crown. This is just perpetual Triple Crown. Get out the way. Win as bunch of races, try and make the 2-year-olds as good as possible. And then the next season is testing them ready to get ready for that Triple Crown month or two. Very interesting, very fun. But we got a lot to live up with. You know, Crabby's just like dominating. We've got a lot to live up to for that. So we'll see. Until then, take care.